Hey everybody, it's Chloe to Move, Save the Victory Roll. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It is another video from Older Than Average YouTuber here on the YouTubes. And it is, can you believe it, March already. January felt like a year and February went like that. So it is time for my monthly collab. This will be 12 months. So we have done this for a year with makeup therapy. And this month it is Beauty Bay's The Wilderness palette and the Made by Mitchel Feet on the Ground palette. So if you want to see the look that I create, and also remember to check out Makeup Therapy, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. Welcome to March 1st and my monthly collab with Makeup Therapy. So this is number 12. So we've been doing this for a year. We started last April. So yeah, there we go. So let me know if you want to see us do it for another year. Anywho, so we are going to be playing with the Made by Mitchel Feet on the Ground and the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette. These were both chosen by Manuela, my name twin, and this is the first one here. I got this one and the other palette from Cosmic Peaches, and these are really good. I've been always wanting to try Made by Mitchel. I had a couple little things that were in like contest wins and stuff, but I'd always wanted to try the eyeshadows, so I did manage to get both of the palettes from Daniela. So here is the one palette, and then the second one, which is also so beautiful. This is from Beauty Bay, and this is the Wilderness palette, and this is what this one looks. This one is definitely, I feel, more dark and dramatic. Let's hold the two together. I'm trying to not have mirrors, but there we go. This one is definitely more dark and dramatic. This one is a little bit lighter and springier. So we're going to see what kind of green look we're going to create today, because it is definitely a good chunk of greens with a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow. So we're going to have a nice play with these. So yes. So I think since we're going to do a green look, and I think it's probably going to be pretty, I'm going to try for a little drama today. I did my whole base. I have my Believe Beauty foundation on, a little bit of powder. I have my, a little bit of blush from Jordy. It's Likely Makeup. And then I have a little bit from, oh my gosh, I forgot the name. I will put it up. It's the one I just tested recently. My memory is so bad. It is terrible. But anyways, it's a blush that I've been really liking. So I'll put the name up on top, or I may scream it out shortly because I've forgotten. But I've been using it for like the last week straight. But anywho, let's put on some eye primer. I have got this P. Louise dupe. It's in this dark green. So I think this is what we're going to do today instead of a neutral shade. Yeah, and try and create ourselves a look. So yeah, it has been a year. I'm going to put the playlist on top here in case there's any that you missed or you'd like to go back and look at and see what we've been doing for the last year. Basically, premise of this has been to use makeup that's in our collection and that we both have, and then because we have so much, we were doing two palettes together. So that way you can see how things will either match or contrast in your collection. We've done quite a few that have palettes like these ones that have similar color stories. We have done some that had a little bit more opposite color stories. We've done ones that have had complementary color stories. So yes, and we've both done different looks. We've occasionally had a theme. Yeah, so I think this theme for me anyways will be green. It is one of my favorite colors of eyeshadows to wear. Basically, yellow, oranges, and greens are my favorite of all time, though I have been liking playing with blues and purples recently as well. But if I'm going to do a look on the fly, it's either going to be yellow, orange, or green. So there we go. So we are nicely primed and ready to go. I really like this one. I feel like the formula isn't actually that much different than P. Louise, to be honest. So, but then I don't know what goes into making an eye primer. Like, are they generally the same ingredients, except for maybe depending on how much pigment you use, or if there are any slight differences? Because for a lot of times I don't see too much difference in the eye primers. like liquid liners and stuff, or pot liners, I can see a big difference on, but usually for the most part, most eye primers are pretty good. I think maybe if they're a little bit too emollient or a little bit too dry, maybe issues, but I think for the most part, a good eye primer, they're pretty the same. Alrighty, so I'm going to look to find, of course, the darkest shade that we want to play with, and is it going to be Feet on the Ground or the Wilderness palette? I am liking, I wasn't originally a fan of the Beauty Bay shimmers. I think the first two palettes that I got for them with shimmers, they would always split apart, but I want to say the last 3 or 4 that I've bought, they've been really, really good. They've definitely gotten better, and I don't seem to have to tap things out very much. The darkest green, however, looks to be in this palette, and this is the one that is called, oops, don't want to drop my mirror here, that would be bad. That is called Ivy. So, all right, I should have brought another little table over here, or a smaller mirror. So anyways, this is Ivy. And then the darkest one that is in this palette, oh, okay, so I think the darkest green in here is called a Venom, and that is that green there. So, because I think the other one's a black, but we'll test that. So anyways, that is Venom, so that is definitely lighter. But I want to look at this amino, is an amino acids, is that a green? Because this could be, if it's a green, it's the darkest green. No, it looks more like a black. Okay, so we are going to start with the Beauty Bay, and we are going to go with the shade Ivy, and we're going to do that first. You're hearing some singing in the background. That would be my dryer. It is Sunday. It's a Sunday when I'm filming this, and I'm trying to get my chores done. I had yet again for the last week and a bit of February managed to catch a cold, or maybe it's mid into February. It caught a cold, and I'm now just getting over it when I film this, and so it's been hard to kind of film when you're feeling manky, but I've been starting to feel better. I actually went out yesterday, had a girl day with my friend Corinna. We did some vintage shopping. We had a nice lunch at a place we had not been before. We were originally going to go to my favorite meat on Main, but the weather was really crappy, and we just wanted to dive into somewhere. And then we're like, hey, we've both not been here before. Let's check it out. So it was called Shay's Lounge, and I had a really nice vegan flatbread. Had to just get them to remove the cheese, but everything else was vegan. And then a friend had, if they had a veggie version, I would have tried it. They had a pierogi burger, so it was like a burger, but it had pierogies on it. So it was ginormous. She got through like half of it, and she's like, okay, my spouse is getting the other half. So yeah, and then I tried, because I'm a fan of bourbon, but I've never had a bourbon sour, so I tried one, and it was delicious. I gotta find a recipe for that. Yeah, well, that's such a nice color. And the primer is not wreaking any havoc, which is good. I guess maybe that's my other thing. Sometimes some eyeshadows don't like a primer, or certain primers if they're too tacky or too dry. This one's a nice tacky one, actually. So we're almost the same, except I have to wing that over a little bit. So I have been trying to do my best to kind of do things with my eyes open a little bit to try and get some shape that is more correct. Okay. Alrighty, so again, and that was Ivy. That's the darkest green shade in the Wilderness palette. Yeah, so I can't believe it has been a year of me doing this. Yes, I think the shape is decent. Color looks good. All right, thank you, Ivy. Okay, so I think I'm going to do a little bit of the next darkest shade, and this is the one that's called Eucalyptus. So I think I'm going to take one more shade, one more matte shade out of the Beauty Bay, and I'm going to go into that. I just want a little bit to be almost like a transition shade. It is dark too, but the undertone is a bit grungy and a little, just a smidge lighter. So I don't know if you can see him in the background there. That's Mr. Meowington. I picked him up from one of my favorite vintage stores, Refined Home on Main. Bart has the best stuff. His stuff is priced always really well, and then he's always happy to give a bit of a deal as well, depending on what you're buying, or if you're buying multiple things. It's really nice. It's a really nice store. It has a lot of fun things. Too much temptation. If I win the lotto, there will be signs. I will be emptying out Bart's store probably. Alrighty, and there we go. And then I also bought a really cute hat from Woo Vintage, which is my hat pusher. I had my hair all done, and then she was like, then I found a hat. She was, I was thinking, the way you had your hair done, there's no way you're trying on hats. And I'm like, if there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so now we're going to go move back into, we're going to go into Made by Mitchell. We're going to be using the first color in here. And I think what we're going to do is we are going to use that one called... First, I thought I was going to use the darkest shade that's in here, but I think I'm going to go for this nice, beautiful springy green in here. And this one is called Ant. All right, didn't see the eye. So there we go. We're going to go into that shade there. This one brush has been working really well. All right, so we're going to go into there. I have a whack of brushes to wash, so if I don't add a lot to my pile right now, that'd be kind of great, right? Alrighty, so let's go into using that one there. Actually, I might add just a squidgy squidge of yellow in the front. There we go. Oh yeah, that is a really pretty shade. I like that. And yeah, and I think I like that progression. I think that going this bright shade into the slightly grungy shade that goes into the dark shade, I think looks rather nice. The other thing I like about, I always, you always use your newest palettes that you've bought, gifted, whatever. And then you always, a lot of times you don't seem to go back to them. So it's really nice to, doing this collab, to use palettes that you bought because you wanted to love, because you lusted over them, you washed them, you loved them, you spent the money for them, sometimes even the duty for them, that we get a chance to use these again. So, okay, I'm going to go back into Ivy again from the Beauty Bay. I just wanted to tap on a little bit for darkness there. I think for the underneath, before I go on into some yellow, I'm going to go back into the Made by Mitchell, and I'm going to go into the shade that was this kind of the second darkest. So we're going to go into that one, and we're going to do that along the bottom. I will need a different brush for that one. Just something that has, what's this one from? Oh, this is actually a concealer brush from $1 Billion Brushes, but I think this will be nice to go along the bottom as well. Like I was saying too, I'm washing brushes, so some of my favorites are in the to be washed pile. Yep, I've not bought a single eyeshadow palette since January. I'm pretty proud of myself that I made it a whole month without buying eyeshadow palette. I want to say I went a whole month without buying makeup. But I was complaining in one video how I was running out of my Ordinary foundation, and it was my favorite affordable foundation. And then, like the gods were hearing me, I got an email from the Ordinary saying that they were going to do a limited run back to, because so many people were asking about it. And the order came up on Friday, and it's so affordable. It's like $8.41 Canadian for a bottle that lasts quite a while. So not big, but you only need a little bit. I love it. Been using the crap out of the one that I have. So I ordered 2 bottles because they said it's a limited edition. I thought they were bringing it back to bring it back, but they're saying they're a limited edition. So hopefully the 2 will last me a while. And if it looks like they're doing a last call, then maybe I'll order some more. But I really do like that foundation a lot. So I did spend $16 on makeup, but it was just my foundation that I like. I'm almost, today I'm wearing the Believe Beauty. I'm almost out. There's that much left. I have a little bit of my LYS, and then I can go back to my one from ZZ and using my Ordinary. I think those are the 2 that I'm going to be using for at least the next year. Okay, there we go. Nice. All right, so then I did say that I think, at first I was thinking maybe I could use this springy green. That would be nice, but I think I want to go even brighter than that. So I think I do want to do a little bit of yellow. I think, so there's 2 yellows in here that we've got here. It's called Chemtrail, So I used it on a slightly dirty finger, but here we are. So that's Chemtrail. And then the other one is called Orchid. Okay. So let's see, they both look pretty light. Oh, they look pretty similar, but this is just slightly brighter. So let's use Chemtrail. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of that on the front of my eye before we pick out our shimmer. Just to add like a little extra bright there. Yeah, I think that was the right touch. There we go. Alrighty, so now let's talk shimmers. Now, both of them have a really nice green shimmers that would be really nice to use. We're looking more bright, so because they do have this one called Grass, but I'm looking at Mama's Garden, which is that one there. So actually, let's use my other arm so I can use a cleaner finger. Ooh, that is so pretty. So there is Mama's Garden. Ooh, that might be good for up front. Oh, and then there's another light green one in here that is called Limeade. So this one looks cute too. And then we have a Limeade. Ooh, that might be nice, a nice inner corner on top of the yellow. And then going into the Wilderness palette, we've got this one that is called a Breeze, and then the next one is called a Moss. So we've got Breeze. Ooh, that is so pretty. Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. And then we have a Moss, ooh, which is also beautiful. Let's kind of go more in keeping with that, I think. Even though I really want to use that one, I think this is the closer one. So I think we're going to use Moss, and then we're going to use a Limeade. So Limeade is going to be more for the inner, and then we're going to use the other one more towards middle. So let's go into Limeade. I'm going to actually use that brush that I used for the yellow, because this is a yellowy green, it's like a yellowy green, right? So let's use that. I dropped that mirror, so do I have another one in here? I normally do. I do. All right. Yeah, that is really pretty. That's that light and debate. Yeah, I like that. And then for the Wilderness, we are going to use, yes, we're going to use the shade Moss, even though Breeze is so beautiful. But I think Moss is a little bit more in keeping to what we've got going on there. And then I'm going to use the one that I used for my under eye. I'm going to clean that off, and then we're going to go into there. Yeah, I'm not sure you can get any of these palettes anymore. I don't think you can get the Wilderness palette anymore either. So that's the only other thing about doing these videos, is that sometimes when we're using older ones in our collection, they may be limited edition, or we've had them for a while that they're just not made anymore. I believe all three of these are no longer in print, in production, whatever you want to say about makeup. Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to use, of course, my phalange just to make it so gorgeous, just a little bit more tinsy. The Beauty Bay ones definitely like the warmth of the finger. The Made by Mitchell went on beautifully with just a brush, no spray, nothing. There we go. I think that's really pretty. Alrighty, so that's our two palettes for now, unless I need to retouch, but I think we're good. So I did bring out, have from Melt here, one of their eyeliners that I've had for quite a while. Can't even remember what collection it's from. I want to say Beetlejuice. How are we doing here? Does it still have any give to it? Oh, it does a little bit. So I want to try as a liner. I have used it some, as you can tell, there's a big dip in there, but while I love, balmy blushes and liquid everything else, liquid eyeliner and I don't always, like pot liners, don't always get along the best. So let's just try and see if we get any use. If it doesn't work, I'll add a little bit of my mixing medium. But I thought maybe, because this still seems to feel like it has a little bit of, yeah, it's in the shade Cobalt. Let's see if I can do a little bit of a liner with this. do have a couple from Made by Mitchell, but one was a bright pink and the other one was very bronzy. So I didn't think that would be the right color story. Yeah, if this was still more emollient-y, I think it would work a bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna try. It's like I said, it's kind of putty-ish, but it's not as liquidy as it was. So I might try putting in some of my, I think we need to do a declutter of things like liquid eyeshadows and things. Okay. And then did I bring one? Yes, and then I brought this smudgy one. This is a Sephora brand one that I bought in January because I was wanting to find a couple liners that were good for smudging in the waterline. So I got a green one and a black one. There we go. Yeah, this one definitely works really well in the waterline. I've tried using it just to do as a smudgy liner. That I think I need a little bit more practice with, but for in the waterline here, these are pretty good. I don't know, do they have a name besides being from Sephora? Is the Colorful Shadow Stick and Liner. And this one's waterproof. And does it have the shade name on there? It is number 16 Army Green Matte. Okay, there we go. A little mascara. Then we're going to do a quick lip. And then I think we are going to call her done. And there we go. I've done a sound check before this on my mic and played with different volumes. A friend of mine was saying that they were hearing hissing. I went and I rewatched part of it. He said it was in the first part of the video. And I watched it and I didn't hear it. And I didn't hear it when I did the tests. And I'm going to test again while I'm editing. But if you hear something as well, let me know. And I haven't tested on big screen. Sometimes weirdly, even though I pick the option for YouTube video in my editing software, sometimes once it's on the big screen, it does sound a little bit different than it does watching it on the phone. So that could be it too. So, but if you do hear something, then I will watch it on the big screen. It's just weird seeing my face on a big screen. So anyways, there we go. So then for lipstick, I have this lip liner. This is a lip cream. This is by the Beauty Crop. I got this as part of a order with Poshmark. So like a little lip kit. To get the better deal to order 3 different things, I had gotten a Fenty lipstick, a blush palette by Lunar Beauty, and then I added this kit to get the best deal, and it's actually really good. So I'm gonna use this liner here just to give a little liner. It's gonna be a little lighter than the color that I picked for a lipstick, just to help with making sure we have no bleed. We are old. I haven't noticed it too much, especially since I've been doing lip care, but some lipsticks can start going into the fine lines, and we don't want that. Okay, so then I was gifted from A Nightmare on Elm Street, the lipstick from Glamlight. Does it have a shade? I don't see a shade on here. But I didn't get the box, and it doesn't matter. The packaging is great. And then I had gotten 2 in this collection. Look, it's got the nice embossing on there, but I thought I would use the darker shade. I thought that would look good today. The other one is like a mid neutrally shade, and this one's a little darker. And there we go. So there is our look for 1 year in playing with mine and my name Twins collection. There we go. And look how long my hair's getting. I'm really quite happy with that. So there we go. There is my look. There is my play with the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette and the Made by Mitchell Feet on the Ground. Both of these palettes definitely are a year or more older, and they still work beautifully. The shimmers are lovely. The mattes are great. Everything blended really well. These are 2 great palettes. So if you've been wanting to try a Beauty Bay or Made by Mitchell palettes, they're both a great quality. I would definitely do that. And if you can find any of these on like Poshmark or Kari, is it? Or anywhere where you can where the people resell makeup, I highly recommend. Anyways, there we go. That is my video. That is my look. If you can give this video a like, comment, and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. And maybe even hit that notification bell. Then you're going to know when I upload. I usually try for Mondays and Fridays, but sometimes it just depends how I feel and what I got to film. Trying to film things that I'm interested in, and I hope you're interested in too. So, as always, behave, make good choices, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.